Your mindset is holding you back. Here's how to change it. Your mindset is like a compass. It determines where you're heading in life. But what if that compass is broken? Today, we're diving into how your thinking might be keeping you stuck financially, physically, and mentally, and what you can do about it. Stick around because this one shift could change your entire trajectory. Part 1: The Science of Helplessness. In the 1970s, a groundbreaking experiment on lab rats revealed something surprising. Scientists placed two groups of rats in separate tanks of water. Both groups had to swim for survival, but there was one key difference. The first group had no escape, and eventually they gave up and sank. The second group had a small floating platform they could use to escape. Here's where it gets interesting. When both groups were later put in new tanks with easy escape routes, the first group, the ones with no previous escape, didn't even try. They just sank again. The second group, however, immediately found the exit and saved themselves. This behavior was dubbed learned helplessness. It's the mental state where repeated failures convince you that your efforts don't matter. The rats that gave up were no longer limited by their physical abilities, they were trapped by their own minds. Part 2: The Human Experience. Now, you might be thinking, what do lab rats have to do with me? Well, think about a time you tried really hard at something, maybe getting fit, improving your grades, or starting a side hustle, and failed. Did it feel easier to just give up rather than try again? That's learned helplessness at work. Take Sarah, for example. She tried dieting dozens of times. Each attempt ended in frustration. Either the weight came back or she felt too restricted to continue. Eventually, she told herself, I just have bad genetics. I'll never lose weight. Contrast that with David, who also struggled with weight. He faced the same challenges but saw each setback as a lesson. That diet didn't work for me. Maybe I need to try a different approach. Over time, David found a routine that worked, proving to himself that persistence pays off. Part 3: Why Some People Bounce Back. Why do people like David persevere while others like Sarah give up? Psychologists say it comes down to explanatory style, the way you interpret setbacks. Imagine two coworkers, Chris and Megan, who both lose their jobs. Chris spirals into despair, thinking, I'm not good enough. No one will ever hire me again. Megan, on the other hand, says, this sucks, but it's a temporary setback. I'll bounce back. Three things set their mindsets apart. 1. Permanence. Chris thinks his situation will last forever, while Megan sees it as temporary. 2. Pervasiveness. Chris believes he's a failure in every area of life. Megan knows this setback is just about her job. 3. Personalization. Chris blames himself entirely, while Megan considers external factors like company layoffs as part of the reason. This ability to reframe setbacks isn't just a feel-good concept. Studies show it's a key factor in overcoming challenges. Part 4: How to break free from helplessness. So how do you move from Chris's mindset to Megan's? It starts with recognizing the stories you tell yourself. 1. Identify negative beliefs. Write down thoughts like, I'm bad with money, I'm unlovable, or I'm terrible at math. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, but they don't define your future. 2. Challenge those beliefs. Let's say you believe you're bad at socializing. Think of a time when you connected with someone effortlessly. Maybe it was a great conversation at a party or a time you helped someone out. These moments prove your belief isn't entirely true. 3. Reframe setbacks. Instead of saying, I failed the test, so I'm bad at math, say, I didn't study the right way this time. I'll try a new method. Part 5: Real life example, the growth mindset. In one remarkable study, a group of underperforming students was taught about the growth mindset. They learned that intelligence isn't fixed and that their brains could grow stronger with effort. Armed with this knowledge, they started studying smarter and eventually outperformed their peers who weren't taught this concept. This applies to all areas of life. The belief that you can improve often leads to actions that make it a reality. Part 6: Start small, think. Big transformations don't happen overnight. Instead, focus on small, consistent actions. Want to improve your health? Start with a 10-minute walk each day. Want to save money? Set aside $5 a week. These small wins build momentum and reshape your identity. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future. Setbacks are part of life, but they don't have to define you. Remember, Even the rats in the experiment eventually learned to escape once they realized their efforts mattered. So here's your challenge. Start believing that change is possible and back it up with action, no matter how small. A better life is just one mindset shift away.